People took to the streets of the University of Illinois.
And if you're an Illini fan, many of those faces were familiar.
The football team led the protest with other student athletes, staff members, and community members joining in their efforts. The group marched from Grange Grove to the Champaign Police Department, where they kneeled to honor victims of police brutality.
Hopefully, we have a bunch of different skin tones out here, different people who come from different backgrounds. And that's the goal of this all together, to unify.
Illini football's Kendrick Green says it meant a lot to see community members and athletes from other teams come out for that event.
Dozens of U of I students are being investigated for breaking COVID-19 rules. University officials say roughly 100 students are accused of violating quarantine orders or hosting large parties. 2 students and 1 fraternity, Pi Kappa Phi, face punishment. Both Champaign and Urbana have issued emergency orders to fight the spread of coronavirus. Partygoers and hosts who don't follow social distancing rules can be fined up to $750 per day.
Well, Champaign County has 49 new COVID-19 cases, putting the county above 500 active. The good news, the positivity rate is still well below 1%. But that's not the case in McLean County. Through the weekend, their rolling 7-day positivity rate was at 10.3%. Then they reported 146 new cases. That follows Sunday's mark of 219. There are more than 1,700 active cases with at least 16 deaths.
There are more than 1,600 new cases of COVID-19 across the state. The positivity rate has dropped. It's now back down to 4.1%. There are now more than 235,000 cases in Illinois. 7 more people have died. There are more than 8,000 deaths from coronavirus across the state.
Well, the number of students in the Danville district has dropped from last year by 7%. School leaders are rushing to get everyone enrolled before school starts a week from today. They're down about 300 students from the same time last year, with fewer than 4,400 altogether.
Fog is going to be out there still for us. Temperatures are around the upper 60s and lower 70s. Foggy and warm, too, especially in comparison to a yesterday morning start. Now, live in Champaign, Roofing Dog Eynet, Bratcher weather camera. There's the fog for you. We got that definitely around for us across Champaign County and across a lot of the viewing area, too. 64 in Effingham West. We saw a bit more of the clear skies, not as much of the fog throughout the overnight. You got some of the areas of clouds and rain off to the west. Those are going to be heading on in here as we go on into the latter part of the morning and into the early part of the afternoon. We do expect that's going to bring in some heavier downpours from time to time. Mainly, though, it looks like that will be for those spots near I-55. Those of us east of there, well, a lot of it does start to weaken a bit, but we still get a good rain chance and at least a better chance than yesterday and get some much beneficial rainfall that we need. We'll continue to see more of the shower activity on into the early part of your Wednesday and maybe even a very tiny chance still sticking around for Thursday before we dry out, heading on to the end of the work weekend as we start off the holiday weekend. Now, we don't expect to stay dry the entire holiday weekend. We'll let you know when to expect some of that rain. Plus, it could be one of a cooler or a bit of a cooler Labor Day for us than what we have been really usually expecting coming up when we show you your 7-day forecast here in about 4 minutes. Mac?
All right, thank you, Adam. Well, new this morning, some people said they woke up to gunshots in Champaign today. Police were called to Oakwood Terrace Apartments around 4 o'clock. Officers say they didn't find anything, but we will keep you updated as we learn more information.
Decatur police are investigating after 2 people were shot there. This happened on South Webster Street near East Cleveland Avenue. We told you on the morning show yesterday about a shooting near South Webster and East Clay. Well, a man and a woman were hurt there. This is a second shooting in less than 24 hours. Police say 2 men were hurt. They were both taken to the hospital. Police say they do not have any suspect information right now.
Decatur city leaders are preparing to set the 2021 budget in the wake of the COVID-19 pandemic. We told you about this on the morning show. They're predicting a revenue shortfall of about $5 million by the end of this year, but have been able to cut spending by nearly $3 million altogether. The city is looking at ways to cut costs for next year. Leaders say they want to avoid raising taxes if at all possible.
The Low-Income Home Energy Assistance Program, or LIHEAP, will be available even earlier than in past years. You can get help about a month earlier than usual. It's a one-time payment that could go towards several power bills. You can now register online, and that is also new. LIHEAP managers say you should apply soon, and we can help you with that. We have a link on our website, WCIA.com.
2020 has created a lot of new gardeners. With the summer months coming to an end in the next few weeks, there's still one way to garden with the changing temperatures. The U of I Extension says you should try hydroponics. That's the process of growing plants in a liquid nutrient solution without using any soil. Experts say the best part is that you can do this inside or even out.
One group's kind action resulted in something they never expected. Sally Roth is part of a group called Wrapped in Prayer. They make handmade quilts for Restoration Urban Ministries. Roth noticed the organization needed some pillows, so she decided to ask the founder of My Pillow for a discount, and he ended up donating 20 of them to the charity. A Central Illinois man is fighting a rare disease, but he says he's putting a positive outlook on life to raise awareness for others in this situation.
WCIA3's Karina Rubio joins us live in our newsroom this morning to share his inspiring story. Karina.
Hey, Matt, Christy, good morning. Austin Crawford says he doesn't have a lot of strength left, but he's using what he does have to make a big impact. He was diagnosed with multiple system atrophy a few years ago. Crawford's slowly losing bodily functions like walking and says soon it could be speech and movement altogether. He says he was a bit scared to share his story until a filmmaker reached out to him about 2 years ago.
For an easy way to describe MSA is Parkinson's with Lou Gehrig's symptoms also at the same time. So you're not only fighting one disease, you're fighting two.
And it's also raised a lot of awareness of people knowing about Austin in that community and recognizing him almost as a leader in that community in a lot of ways.
The documentary was funded by the MSA Coalition and has won awards at several film festivals. The movie is up for its next award at a film festival on October 4th of this year. Reporting live in the newsroom, Karina Rubio, WCIA3, your local news leader.
And that will wrap up the morning show on WCIA3. But coming up, when we make the switch to WCIX for the 7 o'clock hour of the morning show.
China is following through with its part of the U.S. trade deal, how it's giving a boost to farmers right here in Central Illinois.
Before we get to that, though, let's get one last check of our 7-day forecast with Adam. What's it looking like out there?
Christy and Mac, it's going to be another gloomy day. Highs only reaching in the lower 80s. Areas of scattered storms could be possible as we head into more so the latter part of the morning and into the afternoon. Isolated chances for Wednesday, maybe even only a spotty chance at best. Heading to Thursday as we stay around those mid-80s. And then we get a cool down on Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Mostly sunny, back up into the 80s as we start off the holiday weekend. Labor Day itself going to be cooler, though, and it looks like we do have to watch out for at least an isolated chance of a storm, with your high only reaching at about 85 of those lows, starting to fall back down into more of the 50s. We're going to have more on the rain chances for today, plus some of the fog out there on the X. So join us over there. If not, have a great Tuesday.